What's up, the world and the inhabitants in it? This is Jesse with Tyndall Life. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff, and hopefully we'll learn something. Me, you, everyone. This channel is going to be nothing but about life, nature, and everything like that. I love life. I love all nature. If you love life, if you love nature, like, subscribe, comment on videos that you would like to know. I'm an avid beekeeper, backyard bees, and I got my hands in everything. So if it's something that you need to learn to know how to do, this is the cheap way of building a top bar beehive. This is a Kinsey top bar beehive. It's my kind of like my own design on a lot of the measurements. So it's a Tyndall top bar basically, and it's the cheapest way to do it that I've found without sacrifice of quality. I still get the same results out of it. This is one of the bars. This is like the frame of the Langstroth. The Langstroth, this is a standard Langstroth hive, which the Langstroth hives are wonderful. They're good for industrial and everything like that, but it's kind of harder to build. A rosewood hive, them are some of the ones that I like for square hives like this. You can use the same frame, but this is what we're working with today. These are 17 inches long, by 1 3/8 width. Doesn't matter how thick they are. This is a 1 by. It was actually a, what do you call that? A lat and a fence that was just at the dump. Took the nails out of it, cut it to my specific size. And I got this. This is what it comes. Had to make my width of it to get this width from here to here. Basically, all it is a trough with these bars on top of it. The only specific measurement, like I said, is that 1 3/8 inch thick. If not, they'll start cross-combing on you or building their combs too much. What will happen is they'll build and then slightly build over, and build it wrong in the wrong one. This is one of my first ones, and it's an 1/8 off. That 1/8 off made it where they'd burr comb on it, and eventually they'll just slowly, slightly get off every time by a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch. This is just burr comb. It's not cross comb. When they cross comb, it'll go any direction. It doesn't matter, but they usually go in a horizontal, a diagonal to it, horizontally. And then you have to pick up more frames, like 5 frames, or that one's 2 frames, but it's just because it's burr comb. But this channel is going to be mostly about building, about life and everything. But I'm going to make a series of this top bar Tyndall top bar, and from the ground up, how to make it. It was pretty cheap. It's inexpensive. Eye bolts were probably the most expensive thing, and bolts are very cheap. It's like, I don't know, a couple dollars, like $4 to buy all them. The paint you can get at Lowe's. There's a resell, like it was the wrong pigment, and they'll take it back, and then it's really cheap. Make sure it's exterior paint when you paint it. Do not paint the inside of your hive or your bars at all. None of the bars, don't paint it. And on the inside, the bees will take care of the inside. They'll put a coat of propolis over the whole thing after they clean it thoroughly. They'll coat it, and then they'll actually add funguses and all kind of stuff. You can't see it, it's microbial, but you'll be able to see it. I mean, they make their own symbiosis in their hive. Some of these hives, there'll be ants, frogs, spiders, everything and on them, because it's just it works with one with the other. I do not put chemicals in my hive. The only thing I do put in my hive is I will put diatomaceous earth. I use that to kill small hive beetles. I'll make a trap and I'll put it in there, and then that'll get rid of them. They do use borax, but again, it's a chemical. I don't put chemicals in it. I use my own wax. I do not like to introduce anything in my hive that I don't know where it was, you know. If you have to introduce something in your hive, you can introduce stuff. You can introduce sugar syrup by feeding them. But I don't do that. I only do that if I have to, because the sugar, the pH level is just slightly higher or slightly lower, and it kills an enzyme in the bee's stomach that'll actually hurt them to make their bee bread, to care for the young, and so on and so forth. There's so many different things that are done wrong, and this is the most natural way of doing it. I didn't spend any money on my bees. I didn't spend any money, just barely any, on my hive. The first time I got bees, it was funny. I had screens stapled to a hat, duct tape on my gloves, duct tape on a coveralls to my boots, and it was way overkill. It was like jumping off a cliff. People fear the unknown, but once I knew it, it was like it's very enlightening to mess with bees now, and I highly recommend it to anyone that loves nature, because you actually, by doing bees, you pay attention to a lot more things: rain, fall, everything, flowering, just everything, wind, everything. You start paying attention to a lot more nature. It's really, really, really cool. I love it. But I would like you to like, subscribe. I need 1,000 subscribers. This is one of my first videos, just to keep the ball rolling, get as much as I can. I want you to send comments on things you'd like to know, like even grafting or something like that. Grafting queens, to get your own queens after you have one hive. You can have as many as you want if you do correctly. And I do that inexpensive. I graft queens with, I did it with, what was it? I think it was a cedar limb I did it with. And I had success. This is the perfect time to be making, winter months are the perfect time to be out making swarm traps, hives, refixing your hives, everything like that, because they're not as active, and you'll be prepared for the next year, because they'll start throwing off swarms early April and all the way until, well, they can swarm all the way up until winter time, you know. But that's what I'm going to be doing. It's going to be probably a couple episodes to do it from the ground up. Like I said, you can get most of this wood and everything from a dump or someone you know, or a dump if they allow you to, you know. Just anywhere like that, scrap woods, anywhere. I mean, you'll have to find your own material, but I'm just telling you the best ways. The best ways is find, like the fence lattice that I made these out of, and they were just at a dump. Had to refurbish them and everything like that. Your wax, once you get your wax, you can actually make a lacquer with the wax. Your wax is actually worth more than your honey if you don't put any bad stuff in your hive, any chemicals and stuff like that. It's actually worth more because they make lip balms and everything out of it. I actually use mine to coat my bars, where they're more inclined to build on it. You don't have to have this part. You can actually use a string, dip it in wax, and put it on there, because they're inclined to build on the highest hanging object on whatever box they're in. So that's why I did that. I just wanted it nice, because it's a specific design that I like to follow. I got multiple designs that I've done, and it's through trial and error, and that's why I'm coming to you with this top bar Kinsey. It's a type of Kinsey hive, and it just refers to my own. And we'll go over the steps of building it and everything like that. But I hope y'all like what I'm trying to do right here, and I hope you love life. If you love life, like this, subscribe, and y'all have a good day.